Today is an awesome day because I got a wicked little care package for all the way from the United States, and I'm so excited to show you guys. A brand spanking new helmet from ILM. Man, I've been looking forward to this day. It feels like forever, but actually, considering this came from the US, it really didn't take that long. I think a couple of weeks to arrive. So, I mean, that's pretty good going. But when this lot invited me to collaborate with them, they just said, pick the helmet you want and we'll send it over to you, no questions asked. And honestly, the design that I picked, I really like it, but I haven't seen this helmet firsthand with my own eyes yet, but I think it's going to look pretty damn cool. So today we're going to do a bit of an unboxing of this wicked helmet here. Going to go over some of the really neat features that this helmet has, and then we're going to do a bit of a tutorial on how to mount a GoPro to a motorcycle helmet. Because believe it or not, my original helmet I've had since the start of the channel, and the original GoPro mount as well. I've done some upgrades here and there along the way, but the actual mount to the helmet has been exactly the same throughout. So it really has done a good job, and it's really stood the test of time. I'm hoping that today we can do the same thing with this new helmet here. Oh, I'm so excited. Let's crack this bad boy open. I'll tell you what, it looks really well packaged. And I think if they're shipping stuff all the way across the Atlantic, across the pond, then yeah, it's got to be packaged quite nicely. Okay, so we've got a little goodie bag there. Let's see. Oh, okay, got a spare visor here. Nice. I think that looks like the clear one. Yeah, look at all that bubble wrap. Really neatly done. Right, let's pop these over to the side and I'll look at those in a moment. Alright, let's have a look at this. Tell you what, the first thing I notice, it's incredibly light. Oh, look at that! Wow! That looks so cool! Especially with the visor. Oh, wow. Do you think that design looks so neat? Wow. That is wicked. And I did ask specifically for this kind of sun reddish visor. Yeah. That is brilliant. That looks so cool. Alright, so the other bits and pieces that we've got are the original visor, the clear visor. And I'm not entirely sure what's in here. Oh, it goes at the back of the helmet. Hang on. Because we've got this one here that is coloured to match the visor. Let's see if I can figure out how to get this on. Oh yeah, that really finishes off the look. A little booklet in there. Wow. Do you know what? It'd be it seems a bit of a shame to attach a GoPro mount to this thing. Okay, right, I suppose I should try it on. This is a medium, which is good because that is my size. Padding, oh my god, the padding is incredibly soft. Really soft and squishy. Let's see if it fits. And it's got one of these buckles as well, which I actually tend to prefer. Not as much faff. Wow. Oh, that is so cool. The visor inside is tainted blue, but it fits absolutely perfectly. And of course, because that is a bit of an issue that you do have to consider when you're buying one of these helmets online, you've got to make sure that you get the right size. I'm pretty sure that ILM do have a size guide if you're not sure, but usually the easiest thing to do is to reference your original helmet, and if that fits well, then just get the same size when you order it. but oh, this is actually insanely comfortable. But you do get a lot of push against your cheeks, which is really good. It means that the helmet isn't going to go anywhere. So if I shake my head like this, it's not coming off my head. Fits absolutely perfect. Wow. Now a little bit later on we will be going out on a test ride with this helmet, but initial impressions, it's got vents along the top as well. That's really cool. I am genuinely impressed with this helmet. In terms of the way it looks anyway, but quality, it feels quality. It doesn't feel cheap, despite the fact that it is really light. And perhaps one of the biggest criticisms that I've had of all of my helmets in the past is that they're really heavy. And when you're riding super sports and you've got to lift your neck up, you've got to hold your neck up, well, you've got to tense the back of your neck to hold your head up rather. If you have a heavy helmet, it can get quite uncomfortable after a little while, but this is so light. ILM have been making helmets for over 10 years now, and apparently they have over 2 million users worldwide of their helmets. I'm not surprised. This helmet feels quality despite the fact that it is incredibly light, 1.45 kilograms. It's absolutely nothing. Perfect if you're going to be riding super sports every day. And the padding inside is incredibly squishy and comfortable. I'm really looking forward to wearing this and actually putting it through its paces, which we will do a little bit later on in the video once we've got a mount sorted for the GoPro. Speaking of mounts, I don't think you're going to have any issue with either mounting a camera or maybe even mounting a Bluetooth kind of headset. There's plenty of room as well inside where your ears would be for, I don't know, headphones or earplugs, ear defenders, what have you. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, and let's not forget to mention either DOT and ECER certified also, so perfect for riding here in the UK. So even though ILM aren't sponsoring today's video, they're doing me and you guys a huge favor. They're offering a 10% discount. So if you go and check out the ILM website and you decide to buy a helmet or gloves and use code GoblinRides, they will give you 10% off. And they're giving me a bit of a kickback as well. So if you want to support us, you want to support me and the channel, then definitely go and check out ILM. And by the way, everything that I'm saying in today's video is totally genuine. They haven't told me to say anything specific about the helmet, apart from some of the features and about the company. But my impressions and my opinions around this helmet are totally upfront and honest with you guys. So if you like what I'm saying today and you like the look of this helmet, definitely go and check out ILM. I'll leave them linked in the video description. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the part that I've actually been dreading because this paintwork is absolutely stunning, but we have to mount a GoPro to this helmet. So you're going to need a few things. You're going to need some mounts as well with sticky pads on the bottom. I've got some spare sticky pads here as well. You're going to need some super glue. That sounds a bit scary, but don't worry, it's absolutely fine and it shouldn't damage the helmet either. And I've got a wood clamp. You may need some scissors as well. So the wood clamp you might not need for this, but as the adhesive is drying, I like to apply pressure. So I don't know, it just gives me a little bit of peace of mind, because the last thing that you want is your GoPro falling off your helmet. That's a £500 loss. So that did happen to me once, and I don't want a repeat of that either. But speaking of which, we're also today going to attach this and this. So this here is a little patch that you stick onto the helmet as a backup. So if the initial mount fails, this should hopefully catch it. Well, this and this combined should hopefully catch it. All right, so when I tried this off right at the very beginning, I just used the sticky pad just as is. So I peeled this off, I stuck it to the helmet, and the GoPro fell off. So I don't really want to take that risk again. So what I'm going to do, I know this is not good for the helmet. I'm actually going to put some super glue on the sticky pad itself and then stick it onto the helmet just for a little bit of peace of mind. You don't have to do this. To be honest with you, if you get one of these sticky pads, stick it to the helmet, make sure it molds to the helmet, get as much surface area as possible, then put super glue on the other side, then put this one, ideally one without the sticky pad on the bottom. Put super glue on there like that, and then mount it this way. That is the best way that I've found that it will actually stick and it will hold for a long time. I don't like relying on just this. You can go ham over the top with this if you wanted to and put glue all around it. To be honest with you, once this mount goes on, I don't intend on taking it off. So yeah, I think I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to put glue on here and I'm going to put glue all around as well. Just give me peace of mind, but you guys don't have to do this. And by all means, do some trial and error riding as well. That's why we're going to use this. So we've got a safety net for the GoPro, because the last thing you want is to lose a 500-pound GoPro. So yeah, it is a bit of a risky business this, but if you do it right, yeah, it lasts for a long time. All right, so this is probably the hardest bit, is finding somewhere to mount the sticky pad. The reason why I don't like to use the ones with a sticky pad already is because you don't really get a lot of surface area. Whereas if you put the sticky pad on down first, you're going to get a lot of surface area. And then when you put the mount down, you can put super glue on top of it, or underneath it, rather. And then you can really stick it down to the sticky pad. The most important thing isn't the sticky pad molding to the mount. The sticky pad is actually more important for it to mold onto the helmet. So that's why we're going to do it this way. So, because right now, if I decide to put this down, there's going to be a bit of a bridge. So the idea is that we're going to use the super glue to bridge the gap there. So we get maximum surface area on both the helmet and the mount. I'm going to be quite generous with this, but obviously I want it to be fairly neat, so I'm not going to go too over the top of it. Right. Really squidge that down, and I'm going to use this clamp to hold it in place. Now I'm not so worried about getting glue on the helmet itself, to be honest with you, but yeah, you can use isopropyl alcohol to polish it up a little bit. It will look a little bit nicer when you're done. And that's for any excess glue as well that you have. By all means, go ahead, use that isopropyl alcohol. And after it's dried as well, if you don't feel like you've got enough glue, then just pop some more glue in the gaps just to fill them in, and then you'll be all right. All right, so on to the last bit. This comes with a piece of string as well, but we're not going to be using that. We're going to be using one of these instead. So same principle as before, pretty much. I'm going to put it somewhere near this mount here. It doesn't have to be exact. Okay. All right, once again, I'm going to put a double of glue and whack that on there as well. Now it might be worth getting another clamp, another wood clamp, and really squishing down on it. But then you loop this through, so it should look a little something like this. And then I'm just going to wrap that around this mount here. So when that mount goes on there, I'll demonstrate this when this is all ready to go, but I'll basically loop that through here, just like that. And then I'll mount the GoPro obviously through that there, through the gaps. So then if it falls, it will get caught. All right, everyone, but I'm going to leave that there to dry for about 24 hours, but by tomorrow morning it should be pretty much good to go. There's a frog in here. I've got to try and catch it. Look at this guy. Literally just caught him. Yeah, there's a frog in here. Oh, it's so cute. Right, and on that note, let's let this guy out of here. So everyone, this is the finished product. As you can see, a lot of this is actually aluminium, not plastic. I've been slowly upgrading my original rig with aluminium pieces, as many as I can fit on here.
And I've got the same here with this, but I did want it much shorter than my original one because the original mount came out to about here, and I don't know if you guys can remember, but there was quite a lot of leverage on the actual GoPro itself. So I wanted quite a nice short setup here, and that's exactly what I've got. But let me take this all apart and let me show you pretty much how this all goes together. So the only bits that are plastic are the mount to the helmet. So these pieces here are plastic. But yeah, everything else is aluminium, which is just more hard wearing. Over time, plastics, as they go through heat cycles and things like that, they tend to degrade, they tend to break, and it's absolutely fine. You can actually use plastic perfectly reasonably and for a long time, but you will have to replace bits and pieces as you go over the years. But let me show you how this piece works as well, because I'm not entirely sure if I got across exactly how this is going to work. So I'm going to put on our clip here to the mount, and the idea is that this piece loops round the middle section like that, and you tie it down obviously with the rest of the GoPro mount here like that. You tie it all down, and then this is secured, so if this piece fails, then I've got a little bit of a backup here to catch it. But all in all, I've shot a few videos with this already, and I'm quite pleased with the result. It looks really good, and I think I've got a slightly wider angle than I used to because the GoPro doesn't have to sit quite as far away from the helmet as my original helmet did. But yeah, I've put this through its paces so far. There is a little bit of glue residue here and there, but I'm not too worried about it. And to be honest, if you're going to do this yourselves, expect there to be a little bit of spillage when it comes to the super glue treatment, but for the most part it still looks pretty clean, if you ask me. I mean, if you really looked hard, you can see some little bits of super glue. It's not really a big deal to me. The rest of the helmet still looks absolutely fantastic. It's one of the things you've got to do. You've got to make sure that it's all on straight, otherwise the video does look a little bit crooked from this angle. But there you go. All right, everyone, well, there you have it. That is what it should look like at the end of it. If you've been following along with this tutorial, well, I hope this has helped you out. And to be honest with you, this mount setup, it should be pretty solid. I mean, if you can pick it up by the mount itself, the whole helmet by the mount itself, yeah, it's going to last you a pretty long time. But I can't guarantee 100% that this isn't going to fail. So just be careful, make sure you've got one of these little backup straps here to catch the GoPro just in case it ever does fall off. All right, let's go ahead and take this out for a test ride. Alright everyone, so as I mentioned earlier, I have already shot a few videos with this helmet and with this GoPro setup, and I'm honestly really impressed with it. It's incredibly light. That's the thing that I've noticed perhaps the most about this helmet, is how light it feels on my head, in stark contrast to pretty much every other helmet I've ever owned. This is by far the lightest, and it still feels incredibly secure and it feels solid. You know, it doesn't feel flimsy or cheap in any way, shape or form. But this Z501 helmet from ILM is going, I think, for about 150 quid. It's not that bad, you know, and it's not so cheap that it's you know, sus, but at the same time it's not so expensive that it's kind of impossible to purchase. This is one of those helmets that I think a lot of riders can buy and be extremely happy with. And you know, the whole look of the helmet, it might not be for you, but they do have plainer looking ones if that is more what you're interested in, more your vibe. Then yeah, by all means go ahead and check out what ILM have to offer. They have got quite a few helmet ranges as well, by the way, not just the Z501. But if all of their helmets are like this, then I'll tell you what, they certainly get my seal of approval. honestly, the whole time I've been filming and using this helmet, every single person I've spoken to about it, they're like, wow, that helmet looks so cool. You know, everyone I've spoken to really likes the look of the helmet, but functionality wise as well, it's really good. In a lot of ways it is superior to my previous helmets. So honestly, I really like this helmet, and I'm really pleased that ILM reached out to me and asked me to shoot with their helmets. I think it's an absolute pleasure and an honor, and let's see if we can get past here. Here we go. Whee! Filtering on ZZR isn't the easiest thing in the world, but yeah, it's honestly been an absolute pleasure. And I do look forward to collaborating with them again in future, especially if this is the quality of helmet that they can manufacture. Then yeah, I am curious about what else they can make. But definitely go ahead and check them out, alright? If you're looking for a helmet and you're looking for something like this, definitely go and check out ILM. They've got all sorts of really neat looking designs as well, not just this one, and they're all really reasonable. So it's a lot of helmet for the money, and I think this does give more expensive helmets a proper run for their money. I think, as you guys know me, I like to save a buck wherever I can, and because originally when they reached out to me and they asked to collaborate, I was like, oh, these helmets are going to be really expensive and they're going to be out the reach of most people, but that's actually not the case whatsoever. Especially considering that my previous helmet, I paid 250 quid for that, and this helmet is superior in almost every way. I mean, it is an absolute no-brainer really for me. Yeah, massive thank you to ILM for reaching out to me and giving me this opportunity to show off how great this helmet is. And yeah man, I look forward to working with you guys in future. But I am going to be wearing this helmet an awful lot. They've only asked me to shoot a couple of videos with this helmet for them, but I do actually plan to wear it for a significantly longer amount of time than that. So definitely go and check them out. Go and have a look at the website. I'll leave them linked in the video description for you. Don't forget to use code GoblinRise to save 10%. Thank you ever so much, you guys, for watching today's video. I hope this has helped you out today if you're looking to do something similar to what I'm doing, or maybe even just for peace of mind, you know, if you wanted like a bit of a dash cam kind of thing, go in whenever you're out on rides for the security, then this should help you out in that regard as well. But yeah, I hope this has helped you out, and by all means please go ahead, leave that like, hit that subscribe button if it has, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Everyone take care, ride safe.